So Giants Cowboys ended earlier today. Let me get into my reaction about it. Let's get into it. All right. Game was a rough one for the Giants. I mean, it's another rough week for them. This was another game that they could have won, and they could have been in contention for the NFC East, and it doesn't look like they're gonna win the NFC East, which was kind of their only hope at the playoffs. So I guess it's gonna be a rough season. But yeah, all right. So my main conclusion from this game is the Giants kind of blew this one, because unfortunately, Dak Prescott went out. Hopefully, he is okay. He had a nasty injury around the third quarter, and they put in Andy Dalton. And I mean, Andy Dalton, he's had an amazing career. I mean, not amazing, but I mean, it's pretty amazing that he's in the NFL, and he's been a starter for around 8 years or so. And now he's obviously the backup who was inserted in when Prescott got injured. Now, the Giants' defense, which was actually pretty good in this game until Prescott went out, or until until the second half. They let Andy Dalton have 9 of 11, complete 9 of his 11 passes, throw for 111 yards for a game-winning field goal by Greg Zerlin. And yeah, it was a pretty devastating loss, and very frustrating to watch as a Giants fan. The Giants' offense was very frustrating to do. Daniel Jones, he completed 20 of his 33 passes, threw for 222 yards, but 0 touchdowns. This offense continues to struggle throwing the ball in the end zone. I mean, there was some progress. Devontae Freeman, he played somewhat well today. He had 60 yards on 17 carries for 1 touchdown, and an average of 3 yards per carry, which is kind of what you want. You want to be gaining 3 yards per play, or 3 or 4 yards per play. Jones continues to have struggles not turning the ball over. I mean, he's not doing it purposely, but today he had a fumble, and he lost that fumble. I mean, he's had like 22 fumbles throughout his career, lost 14 of them, which is not good. That has to be a skill he has to work on. Some positives for this Giants team. They did have an interception this game. Kyle Fackrell, I believe I'm pronouncing that name right. He had an interception in this game that was returned for a touchdown. I mean, the first quarter of this game, as I was watching it, really did seem like this was going to be a game the Giants would win. And then the Cowboys had 21 points in that second quarter. And yeah, it really wasn't a good finish to the first half for the Giants. The Cowboys had a touchdown drive around midway of the second quarter, and then the Giants got a field goal, but they had to settle for a field goal. And then Dak Prescott led them to a touchdown at the end of the quarter, which was not good. And it really seemed like they had lost all that momentum. And I just remember feeling, just very down, because, I mean, it really did seem early in this game, early in the second quarter, that this was going to be the Giants' week this week, and it really did seem like they were going to turn it around this week and maybe make a run at the NFC East. It wasn't over at the end of the first half, but it just seemed like the Cowboys had all the momentum going into halftime. And then the Cowboys actually had the lead going into the third. And then the Giants came back a little bit, and they had a lead at the 8:46 mark to make it 34-31. And then they were able to get some stops, and then they weren't able to put this game away, and they allowed the Cowboys to get a game-winning drive with Andy Dalton. And Michael Gallup made 2 amazing catches. There was one catch where I think he was coming off an out route, I want to say, or like I forget what the route was. But I mean, he made an amazing catch, and it was near the out of bounds, and he just barely got his feet in to make the catch. And then they would run like a kind of high route from Michael Gallup near the ends of the sideline, and he made another amazing catch. Michael Gallup, he ended up with 4 receptions off 4 targets, 73 yards, and the longest catch he made was 38 yards, which was, I believe, that catch where he was able to get the Cowboys in the field goal range to win that game. Also, another player that had an amazing game for the Cowboys was CeeDee Lamb. He had 8 receptions off 11 targets, 124 yards. CeeDee Lamb seems to be having a really nice season. He's had 21 receptions, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an average of 14.7 per catch. He's having a really nice season this year. Thing that I was positive for the Giants is Darius Slayton continues to have a good season. He's had 8 receptions for 129 yards, an average of 16.1 per catch. I would say maybe the Giants fans that expected a little more production out of him because of the potential he showed last year. This Giants offense isn't really that good, and the wide receiver position is a lot dependent on the quarterback. And Daniel Jones, he's got a lot of steps to take in terms of accuracy. Not that he's not a bad football player, but he's not a bad football QB. He just might not be a NFL level QB that could start every week for a playoff winning team or Super Bowl winning team, which is, not like a diss at him at anything. But he just might not be that guy. But Darius Slayton, he had 15 receptions, or on the year he's had 15 receptions, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 15.7 per catch. And, that's really all I got in this video. Again, to summarize, this is a very disappointing loss for the Giants. Actually, no, there's actually one more positive I want to hit on. Graham Gano, he continues to be very good for them. Tonight, he was 4-4 kicking. His long distance was 55 yards. He continues to be really good, which, is a positive for the Giants. But, there's not really anything more to talk about. This, again, to summarize, this is a very disappointing loss for the Giants. And I do think this maybe puts them finally out of playoff contention. Just because they were in playoff contention just because the NFC East is horrible. And any team could come out of that division, but, not the Giants anymore because they're 0-5 to start the year. That's really all I got. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.